So I'm gonna flip it over. Oh, God. It looks amazing. Hey, I'm Rachel Gurjar, and I'm an associate food editor at Bon Appétit. And today we're gonna make a grilled chicken salad with a allium tadka-ish sauce, and then we're gonna serve it over a crunchy, bitter, buttermilk dressed salad. I like making the dressing just earlier. You could make this a day ahead, so that cuts your actual prep time on the day that you're serving it. It also lets the flavors marry a little bit, and it's good to have your dressing ready before you toss your salad. Half a cup of buttermilk. I'm just going to eyeball it. I like using maple syrup just because it's not as flavorful as honey, and it has some more caramel notes and more subtle sweeter notes. I'm gonna zest about 1 lemon. So the pith is really bitter, and that's just going to make your dressing a little bit more bitter. So you just want to zest the top kind of shiny layer. About a tablespoon, not packed. And you can just go ahead and use your hands to catch all of the seeds, or if you have citrus reamer, you can use that as well, but I like using my hands as much as possible when I'm cooking. I think these counters are built only for tall people. I have my clean cutting board, and so I don't even know what I would do without a microplane in my kitchen, because Indian cooking uses a lot of ginger garlic paste. And sometimes when I don't have that on hand, it's just easier to kind of grate the ginger and garlic. And as you can see, it's like it's a paste. I'm going to try this dressing really quick just to make sure. So good. If there's something you need to fix or add, if you taste as you go, you can catch the problem before it's too late. The dressing is ready. I'm going to hold it in the refrigerator until we're ready to toss. I have my chicken here, and you can see it is skin on chicken breast. And I'm going medium-high on this because we want this to heat up and smoke a little bit. And if you come closer, you can see how the grill is super well seasoned. It has quite a lot of fat on it, and all of the grates are properly covered in oil. I want the chicken breast to be really dry because that's going to ensure that it cooks evenly. It makes sure that the skin is really crispy, and then it gets really golden brown. So when there's moisture on a chicken breast, you run the risk of steaming it, and you absolutely don't want that when you're making grilled chicken. I'm going to take about a tablespoon of salt and sprinkle it on top, flip them over. And the salt is again going to draw out some of the moisture. You'll see the oil first of all shimmering, and you'll see the smoke going. So when you see that, we're ready, and I hope we hear the sizzle now. And you are going to be tempted to touch the chicken breast, but don't do it. This stage is very important. You need to kind of let the chicken stay. What I recommend doing is grabbing something heavy and just putting it on the chicken breast. The weight will really press the chicken onto the grill, so you're gonna get those beautiful grill marks. When you do pay attention to cooking, how to cook a chicken breast, it can really be super juicy and flavorful, and really kind of take your meal to the next level. So I just want to check how our chicken is doing. So I'm going to flip it over. Oh, God. It looks amazing. And as you can see, the skin is really crispy. You have those grill marks. So flip the breast over. The second one seems to be doing amazing too. Controlling and just being a little bit intuitive as to what are the higher heat zones on your pan. If you kind of touch the chicken breast, you see how this one is more like firmer than this one. Like this one is more bouncy. So that will also tell you what stage your chicken is at. Like this definitely needs about 6 to 7, even like 8 minutes more. So just to speed things up, I'm going to put this pan back, and that's going to help cook the chicken faster. Yeah. So we're at about 160, 161, and that's exactly where I want these breasts to be. I'm going to take these off and let them hang out on the sheet pan. We want to let the chicken breast kind of rest a little bit because that helps redistribute all of those juices within the breast. You know, the meat kind of relaxes a little bit. Now I'm going to make the tadka-ish sauce. So I'm going to make the tadka-ish sauce, and tadka is a South Asian cooking technique where you temper whole or ground spices in any kind of fat until they crackle and they get a little toasty and start releasing their oils, and it gets really fragrant. I'm going to start by cutting our scallions, and you want it fairly thin because you're not cooking for a long time in the heat, you know. I'm adding about 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I'm using nigella seeds today. Like they have an oniony flavor, which is like warm and it's kind of toasty. And it's a little bit intense, but when combined with like the right ingredients, it tastes so, so good. The oil has started to heat up, and you can see that the viscosity has changed a little bit in the sense that it's more runny and there's some smoke coming out, which means the oil is ready. So I'm going to add about a tablespoon worth of nigella seeds in here, and they're going to start kind of sizzling and get all crackly, and that's exactly what I want. And once you start smelling it, go ahead and add your scallions. Swirl this around and make sure all of the scallions are coated in the oil and all the nigella seeds are just kind of evenly distributed. This looks good. I'm just going to pour this into a heat-proof bowl. I'm adding about 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. I'm going to add about a tablespoon worth of maple syrup. If you want your sauce to be a little bit more lemony, like go ahead and add more lemon juice in it. Lastly, hit it with some salt. So it's going to emulsify a little bit, but if you see a little oil floating on top, it's totally fine. Try this. So good. I have an array of salad leaves here. So we have bitter greens and crunchy greens. There's some peppery arugula. We have radicchio, little gem lettuce. This is my favorite lettuce. So I have my big bowl of the creamy, tangy buttermilk garlic dressing. So I'm going to just plop in the salad there. And if I feel like there's maybe a little bit too much dressing, I'm going to add some reliefs. That's totally fine. Very gently because I don't want to bruise the leaves. You could also use your hands, you know, if you're not serving guests and you're the only one eating it. It's important to cut your chicken breast against the grain. And I'm going to cut about a little more than 1/2 inch thick slices. The thickest part of the chicken, when you press it, you can see the juices in there. And another way to tell that the chicken is done is when you see all the juices run clear. All of the components are ready, and now it's time to assemble. I like to make sure that a little bit of color is everywhere on the plate. I'm going to go ahead and place the chicken breast on the salad. You can just kind of shingle it. I like kind of keeping the breast relatively together so you can see the beautiful skin. I'm whisking the tadka-ish sauce one more time to emulsify the acid and the oil. And then you just go over and drizzle it everywhere. And that's it. You have it. It's tangy, it's garlicky, it's so good. The chicken is perfectly juicy. You can really taste the nigella seeds. The scallions in the back have like this sweet allium flavor. And using different kinds of greens really helps you kind of play around with like the textures. So the little gem and lettuce is adding crunch. Radicchio is adding some bitterness. The buttermilk dressing like really kind of mellows that part of the salad out. It's so good. Hi. Okay.